Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to another WB Mason Coaches Report with the head coach of Hofstra Men's Lacrosse, Coach Seth Tierney. Morning, Seth. How's it going today?
Morning, Nick. Doing okay.
Good to hear. It's good to hear. You had a pretty even week. This past weekend, I would say, a 15-7 win over Fairfield, and then a 16-10 loss to UMass. Let's start with the Fairfield game. Looking back over the film, what did you see that you liked from that Fairfield game?
Yeah, coming off a 23-day pause, just the way it worked out in between 23 days in between games, um, became it was a challenge for us at that point in time. I think it showed in the first quarter. I thought we played hard, but I don't think that we were playing smart and we didn't settle in. And then I thought we did a good job at Fairfield of doing a good of just controlling the game, winning a face-off, getting the ball to our offense having a shot at it, getting stops defensively, just being smart, being able to clear the ball, ride a few back. Overall, when the final whistle blew at Fairfield, we thought that it is what it was going to be, a battle. It came out on top, thankfully. And but coming off, there was always concern coming off a long pause.
Yeah, absolutely. Just again, you were down 2-1 in that first quarter, and then you just rattled off 12 goals in the next two quarters to take the lead. It definitely looked like some rust had to be shaken off
Yeah,
from like you said, that 23-day pause.
sure. I mean, it was expected, and the guys stayed with it. So I take my hat off to them for doing that on the road. And again, both teams had a play in it. There was some some windy conditions up there, and but everybody kind of adjusted. Uh, Bobby Casey came back, did a nice job in the goal, first time back since the beginning of the season, and and things worked out okay.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Bobby Casey coming back, 11 saves in that first game, and then 7 saves against UMass. What difference do you go from a Mac Gates, who he performed, I think, very well in relief of Bobby Casey, to Bobby Casey?
Yeah, no, I
What
mean,
is the
listen,
difference?
we're a fortunate team. We've got several goalies that could step in. Mac was the chosen one, when our starter went down, and Mac did an admirable job. He was great. He did a good job. Um, Somebody gets hurt on our team when they're healthy, we try to get them back into that lineup. It's not a time where we will just replace a guy. Certainly with Bobby being one of our captains, a leader down that defensive end, a voice. We wanted to get him back into the fire. We were just waiting for his clearance and his nod going, I'm ready. And Bobby Demanda did a great job. Our trainer did a great job with getting Bobby ready. And Mac, I can't say enough about the role that he played while he was a starter, and then preparing as he's the starter, and he's right then and there supportive of Bobby Casey.
Yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. It's great to have Bobby Casey as that senior voice, that senior leadership coming from the back. And credit to Matt Gates for stepping up and getting you guys 3 wins out of 4 games.
Yep.
And then you came into Tuesday and an unfortunate loss to UMass. It was a good game, I think, back and forth, 6-10. Unfortunate result against you guys. Looking at the film, what did you see from UMass that you liked, and what did you see that you didn't like?
Yeah, UMass is a talented team. There's no getting around it. You can't make mistakes versus a talented team and expect to win. We went through it yesterday, with our guys, and they just needed to hear it. They needed to see it. When you play a caliber team like UMass, you need to make sure that you're on your toes, and we were not from the beginning. They jumped out on top of us, dug ourselves a 9-4 deficit going into halftime. And people could say, well, it was even in the second half. Well, it doesn't matter. One team that's up 5 plays differently, looser, confidently, and then and can be afforded to make some mistakes. When you're down by 5, it's hard to play loose. It's hard to play confidently, and you don't have any room for error. So we did get it to 13-10, I believe, at one point. We could never get it to 2 goals, but we identified some areas that we did some self-inflicting wounds, but credit to UMass, they took advantage of those mistakes that we made. So, UMass was the better team on Tuesday, and we need to get back on our horse and start riding the way we were riding during that win streak that we had. And we're fortunate that we have another opponent coming in quickly due to some COVID issues, where we're stacking some of these conference games one after another just to get them in. And so we have Towson coming up here on Saturday. They're coming off a huge win over Loyola, and they've got some talented players. They're much like UMass, and we'll have our work cut out for us the next 2 days preparing for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting 1-2 punch going from UMass to Towson, and then this coming week you're going to be at UMass and at Towson. Does that propose any benefits playing these two teams back to back in consecutive weeks?
Yeah, when you play UMass Towson, all in about a 2 week period, maybe a little bit longer than a 2 week period, you've got your work cut out for you. Two very successful programs. They've won a bunch, and again, we've got them back to back. This is what the hand that we're dealt, and no excuses, right? There's no excuses for Tuesday. We lost, and we need to own that, and we will do that as a team and as a staff. And we will end ultimately have to cut it loose, let it fuel us, but not carry the weight with us, because we're going to need to be back to that loose feeling that we were playing with prior to that we had in the last 3 quarters of Fairfield. We're going to need to get to that, and hopefully get to that versus Towson.
Yeah, absolutely. I have, and I think the Hofstra faithful have, more than enough confidence that you guys are going to be able to get it done on Saturday. And speaking of Saturday, it's going to be senior day. You're going to be honoring 11 graduating seniors and graduate transfers. What can you say about these, these men on your seniors?
Yeah, I mean, I can't thank them enough. They came here several years ago. Most of them, obviously, with Linsky, Denenza, and Concannon just transferring in for 1 year. But for the majority, these guys came here. They trusted our university, our program, with their college career and experience, and for that I thank them. Again, with COVID times, things have to be a little bit different and a little bit unique. Certainly thankful that the graduating senior parents will be allowed to attend the game as long as they follow the COVID protocols. And the parents, we can all kind of get that picture that we were hoping for, because it is a milestone of getting one of your children through graduating college. It is a milestone in the world of adulthood and parenthood. So with that, it gives some of them, the parents, a little bit of a sense of closure, and then the whistle will blow. That is coming from a coach. And then I have the dual responsibility of senior day this year with Ryan. Thankful that we got a 5th year together, or an extra year, some extended play together on the field. And again, I've told him a few times that one day when this whole thing is over, him and I will grab a steak, and we'll relive some of these memories. Hopefully he'll pay for it, because he's been on my meal plan for a long time. But one way or the other, we'll get some steaks off the grill, and we'll be thankful. And then I think Ryan, as he grows into, a husband and a father, he's going to further understand the value and the memories and the thankfulness of having this time together that we shared. So I thank all the seniors, treat them all like sons. And certainly that's both sides of what we got coming in on Saturday.
Yeah, those are great words, for a group of guys who, whether they've been here from the beginning, or like you said, for those 3 incoming transfers, they just transferred in for the year. It's a family. It is the Hofstra family.
Yeah, there's no question. And for Denenza and, Concannon and Linsky, it feels like they've been here for 4 years in a good way. You know what I mean? It's not like, they've been here forever and we got to pack their bags. They've been here. The relationships that were formed prior to them going to college when they were in high school, couldn't thank them enough. But certainly, we've got relationships with the rest of those seniors, with Altman and Forte and Casey and all of them, and not leaving anybody out. They have all played a huge role in keeping me in line, making me a better coach. And certainly when this is all said and done, I look forward to having 11 more. Well, let's kick Ryan out. 10 more friends, and enjoying some time and watching them to grow into great people.
Yeah, that's a good way to leave it on. With your seniors, including Ryan, your son.
Hey, Nick, I'm just never going to be friends with Ryan, right?
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
I can't. Yeah, he's not that.
Parents don't have to be friends with their kids.
He's not that good. He's not that cool of a guy for me to be friends with him.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
No offense, Ryan, but I'll take your dad's word for it. So it'll be this Saturday at noon, April 3rd against Towson. You can follow all of Hofstra men's lacrosse on gohofstra.com. For head coach Seth Tierney, I'm Nick Capitos, and thank you for joining us for another WB Mason Coaches Report.